Hey everyone, Julie Holly here. One of the honors that I have as a yoga teacher with over a decade of teaching experience is that I'm on the faculty for a couple of yoga schools. And I taught a class last week, and we were talking about social justice. Social justice, thanks to the uprisings of 2020, is now mandatory in the Yoga Alliance registered schools. Like there's hours in social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion that must be taught, and yoga teacher trainings. So we were having a discussion about leadership, right? About what does it mean to fight for social justice, to fight for equality and inclusion as yoga teachers. And in the discussion, what always comes up when you're talking about yoga classes in particular and social justice is, well, that's not why people come to yoga. And I'm going to challenge you today by saying that should be why people come to yoga. Yoga was never meant to be this place of comfort. Yoga is meant to challenge you in every aspect of your life, whether that is your physical health, your spiritual health, your mental health, your health within your community, the health of the planet, and of course, the health of all beings around you, especially your fellow human beings. I think that it's time for all yoga teachers to go back and think about everything that happened 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, exactly as we're getting up into these warmer months. And remember that fire that you felt. Remember that sense of justice that you felt. Remember the pain that you felt, and then alchemize that and teach other people so that we do not repeat those same mistakes. So right now we have, to me, their children, university students that are fighting for what they believe in. They see a genocide. They want to speak about that. That is their yoga, whether you agree or disagree with what they're standing for doesn't matter, in a sense that they are standing for their truth. And in order for all of us to evolve, for all of us to become yogins, we all must face these difficult questions. And even if we will never agree with a person, we need to at least get to a point where we can hear them out. And I did this recently. I was on a business trip, and I was talking to someone else that was in this course, and we were having a good conversation and good rapport. And I made a political statement that I assumed she would agree with, and it turned out she didn't. It turned out that we support completely opposite candidates. However, instead of moving into a seat of judgment, as I often do when it comes to the politics here in the States, I did my yoga and I paused. I found my breath, and I opened up my heart and my ears to listen to what she had to say. And it wasn't at all what I was expecting her to say. And although I don't agree with her political views, I respect and I actually love that we were able to have a civil conversation, right? Because you can't fix what you don't face. So hearing her completely different angle than I've ever heard anyone speak about the current state of US politics, it gave me another tool to be able to sit and listen, but also now that I know about this alternative point of view, I now have a better idea and way of addressing that. And so that we can find this place, right? This balance of dark and light, if you will, right and left, even more accurate, where we can at least find a path forward, right? And so that is what the practice is. So to circle back into what do you bring to a class as a teacher? Should you speak about any of these things as a teacher? I would wholeheartedly say yes. And another reason why I say yes, that not only does it teach you how to listen to other points of view and that you can't fix what you don't face, you want to speak about these things because you want to have a diverse community come to your class, whether that is, people that might not make the racial minority of the neighborhood, majority rather, of the neighborhood that you're serving, whether those are people that are, you're teaching mostly straight people and maybe LGBTQ plus people would like to come to your class. And people that are historically marginalized, tolerance is not enough. It's not enough to say, oh yeah, we're not going to kick you out of class and blah, blah. No, they want to feel welcome. And more than that, they want to feel safe. They want to know that if somebody says an off-color remark about their group, that you as a teacher will put a stop to it and possibly even put the offender out of your class, take that person off of your email list so that the marginalized person knows and understands that this person will never be at a retreat of yours that they're attending. I know this is possible because I know teachers that have done it. I have a teacher who has removed people from a Facebook group that he runs because they have said things that were offensive to me. And I am maybe one of 2 or 3 other Black folks on that page. But because he takes the time and he takes the care to do that, I know that I can pop up anywhere that he is and I'll be safe. That's why you do it. And yeah, people are going to be uncomfortable. I had someone walk out of one of my classes because I had just the day before I had a phone call with a friend who is a drag queen in Colorado. This was shortly after the mass shooting there at the gay bar. And he and I were both shaken. It was Pride Month. And I said, yeah, today we're going to say gay. And we did a back bend and said, everybody say gay. And we all said gay. And someone was offended and they decided not to return to my class. I prefer that they didn't return to my class because I want every LGBTQ plus person to know that hate is not tolerated in my classes. So that's why you want to speak up about these issues. You don't want to make the wrong people comfortable. You don't want the people that are hating other people and abusing other people, whether that's physically, verbally, emotionally, spiritually. You don't want those people. Those people need to be uncomfortable. And if they're so uncomfortable that they don't want to learn and grow, then, they're not ready for yoga anyway. I'll put it like that. That's like the nicest way that I can put it. So if you're a yoga teacher, if you're a group fitness teacher, if you're a classroom teacher, if you are any sort of leader, if you're a business leader, this is why diversity, equity, inclusion is so important no matter what space that you're in. If you're in a role of leadership, then you need to lead. And you need to lead by example and you need to lead by action. So that is my message for today. Hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if this made sense to you and you're, in the space and you don't know how to speak about this. please share.